Hi, we are from Group 7 in our class DKM4D. Will present to all of you about our project entitled Mini Cooling Box. First of all, let me introduce to you all of the members in our group. First, I, Muhammad Afiq bin Mat Sabri, with my metric number 01DKM20F1137. My friend's name is Aiman Hakibi bin Muhammad Shuhaili, Muhammad Ashraf bin Azhar, and Muhammad Shami Iqbal bin Abdul Rashid, with their own metric number 01DKM20F1136, 01DKM20F1117, and 01DKM20F1134. As we all know, in today's world, the necessity for commodities that can be transported anywhere is critical in order to make human life easier. Students, people who migrate, and those who enjoy outdoor activities are all examples of people who require such items. Our lives are made easier by having a refrigerator in the house, but it is limited to the home only. This makes it difficult for people who want to have a refrigerator outside their home. As a result, we want to construct a mini cooling box. Small amounts of food or drinks can be stored in a mini cooling box. It is easy to transport due to its compact size. Although the storage space is limited, we believe that this item is adequate for one person. Others' food storage should be made easier as a result of our project. So why want to create this product? We found several problems to humans with a normal refrigerator. First, it is difficult to transport anywhere, especially for students living in hostel and others who want to engage in outdoor activities such as camping. Next, a refrigerator must be connected to a main power source. The cable wires required to connect to the plug head are used in a normal refrigerator and make it harder as the cable will disturb the user. Lastly, we want to make sure the safety for everyone that's small in size to avoid them to climb the normal refrigerator.
Our objective is to save the environment by reduce the electricity. Number 2, to make people life easier by able them to store the food and drinks last longer. Number 3, to give something ergonomics to user with equipment that easy bring anywhere. So here is the response of our survey from IPU student. This is house of quality, customer requirements, what they want from us. So they want easy to carry, save energy, environment friendly, low price, and long lasting. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, without wasting any time, I will continue the presentation. So for the brainstorming, this is the initial brainstorming that we discuss, and we can assume that there are 3 important things that we want in this project. So we want the body, whether polystyrene or sheet metal, because this is the common material that now we can see in the market. So for the second important thing is power source. At first we want to use the power bank and maybe a wire to charge the power bank, because we want this project mini cooling box is portable. And the third, we want the shape for this project is square shape and made from tempered glass. Morphological chart for our group is, you can see on the screen right now. and this is the type and idea and what the component or part or important thing that we want to use. So as you can see, we have design, we have power source, material, power storage, charging port, and lastly portability. And we have give each one of us have give ideas and type that relevant and maybe can use in this project. So each of us have used and choose what the part that we want to use for our project design. For the concept generation, this is the result by our sketching and our drawing. We use Autodesk Inventor to recreate back the design, and as you can see, there are 4 designs. Each design have been created by different person, and by this design also we will start to present about the concept generation for each design.
After the 4 of us decide, we have decided to choose this design as our project because this design is best suits all criteria in terms of manufacturing cost, materials used, and so on. These are a model objective we have made in making this project. The first one is to save the environment by reducing the amount of electricity used, because the energy consumption is only 12 volts, which is very cost effective. The next one is to make people life easier by allowing them to store food or drink for a longer period. Because of the excess food that no longer fits to be stored in the regular refrigerator, we can store it in the mini refrigerator. And the last one is to provide ergonomics to user using portable equipment, especially people who like to travel, outdoor activities, and so on.
This is my product tree for my concept generation. This is how my concept generation look like. I had drawn it in Autodesk Inventor to make it clear for everyone. This is a block diagram of mine. The mini cooling box will be connected to the power supply, and the switch will be turned on. The resistor will respond to the voltage and activate the fuse, allowing the heat to flow. I estimated the cost of several components for my concept generation. To begin, the peltier costs around 30 ringgit per unit. The heatsink and fan are about 150 ringgit, while the thermal isolator is only 15 ringgit. And for the glass frame is RM2 per unit. The battery that we use is similar to a battery car and costs 250 ringgit. Finally, the screws will be purchased in quantities of 20 at a cost of 1 ringgit per unit. I suggested several fabrications like fastening, screw fasteners, welding, and cutting for this concept generation. We will look at a bill of material for my drawing. We can see that body inside and outside that I create as the body for this cooling box. The hinge 1 and 2 will fasten by screw and joint to attach it to the glass frame. Lastly, we will put the heatsink and fan outside the body.
Okay, now I will explain in detail about my product, which is a mini cooling box, how it works, the materials I use, the power supply, the manufacturing cost, and so on. So let's begin with the product tree. Polystyrene styrofoam is the material I use for food storage because styrofoam is a good thermal insulator. Every electronic component has a coating for electronic goods. I use medium density fiberboard, or MDF for short form. I use a car battery and a power inverter to convert the DC electricity from the sources to AC electricity, because the car battery is portable, so that I can use it as a power supply. So the body is rectangular and the frame is made of acrylic glass, which is more resistant to heat and cold than non-tempered glass. So this is a bill of materials drawing. The total number of available parts is 9. Anyway, let's go to the schematic circuit. So let's take a look at the diagram. I use two electronic refrigeration modules as a refrigerant because it takes less time to cool. We don't have to be concerned about energy consumption because I use energy saving thermostat. So in the refrigerator, LED strips serve as a light source, so we no longer need to be concerned if our board is stored in a dark place. The LED strip button is a momentary push button. I'll install this push button in the top corner of the box to make the lights turn on only when the lid is open and off when it is closed. Next, we go to the block diagram. So this is how the mini cooling box functions. It travels from the power supply to the power inverter, which converts alternating current to the direct current, and then to the thermostat, and finally to the electronic refrigeration modules. When the door is open, a momentary push button will activate the LED strip in conjunction with the AC to DC power supply. Furthermore, after making an estimate, let's keep moving on the estimate cost. The total estimate material cost is RM 526. So for the rest, I use both my own and SST materials. Sargas tool for fabrication. I use 6 types of hand tools, which is styrofoam cutter, hot glue gun, woodworking jigsaw, toolbox, hand drill, and Dremel workstation. Finally, so this is a part drawing and specification drawing create in using 3D CAD. So that's all for me. I hope my product is accepted and beneficial to everyone. Thank you so much.
Okay, for the concept generation 3, I'm Aiman Hakimi bin Muhammad Shuhaili, metric number 01DKM20F1136, will explain about it. Okay, for the concept generation 3, I'm Aiman Hakimi bin Muhammad Shuhaili, metric number 01DKM20F1136, will explain about it. As we can see at the slide now, this is the product 3 for my design mini cooling box. So as we can see from the mini cooling box, there are 4 parts. They're important, they are recognized in this project. First, I want to do a supporting frame for this mini cooling box with the material polyvinyl chloride, or the short form is PVC. And also for the design or shape, I decide to use a cylinder shape. And for the second part, the power source that I want to use is solar energy, and the power storage that I want to use is lithium ion battery, which is this battery contains in the power bank. And also for the last part is the cooling part, which is consists of 3 different components. First, peltier, second is heatsink, and third is fan. Okay, for the bill of material for this design, as we can see, first is storage space. This is the place that designed to put whether food, drinks, or raw material. And also for the second part is we can see cover storage. This cover storage is important to prevent whether food, drink, or anything that we put in the storage space exposed to surroundings. And for the third is hinge. So the hinge ni is to make sure the storage space and the cover storage always connected. And also we can see screw used to tighten the storage space and the cover storage, and to make easily the cover storage to open. And also last, the solar cell as a power source to provide cooling system in this mini cooling box. Okay, for the schematic circuit diagram, this is circuit that show how the cooling system is created in this mini cooling box. So for the first circuit, we can see this is the example circuit that show how the fan and peltier is used to make the system is hot. And at the below, we can see how the fan and peltier is used to make the system is cool. We can see the difference in these two circuit. In the first circuit, that is circuit is going straight. However, for the second circuit, the circuit is going cross. Okay, how do the cooling system work in this circuit? As theoretical, I can say the fan is used to prevent heat and to absorb the heat going outside, and peltier is used to create the cooling system. Next, the block diagram. In this section, show how the procedure or how the cooling system working principle as a simple. So we can see the first is power source, which is I use solar cell, and the second is power storage. So power storage that I use is lithium ion battery that consists in the power bank. And also next, we go to switch. When we switch on the mini cooling system, so the fan is on and it will go to heat sink. So heat sink is used as a safety precautions to prevent or to reduce the heat. And also next we go to peltier. That peltier used to generate cooling in the mini cooling box, and after that we get the result that's cooling in the mini cooling box. Estimated cost for this project is consist in this table. So to make sure before I start, this is just a prediction for the market now and not the actual costing. So we can look at here, thermal isolator, lithium ion battery, fan, heatsink, supporting frame, peltier, screw and joint, and solar cell. All of this total price is 156 ringgit. The component of project for this design is based what we see now in this slide. So first, thermal isolator is used to prevent and to keep the cooling system last longer. Next, supporting frame is used to support and as the body of the mini cooling box. And peltier is one of the component that need to provide the cooling system in this mini cooling box. And next, heatsink is used to prevent heat and to make sure the component is good and last longer. And next, the fan is used to absorb the heat and make sure the hot air is not going inside to the mini cooling box. For the lithium ion battery, it's used as a power storage to store power. This lithium ion battery is very popular in power bank right now. And next, screw and joints is used to tighten or to make sure any part, any two part was ever connected. And lastly, solar cell is used as a power supply to provide power for this mini cooling system to get work. Okay, based on the sketch that I already draw, this is the result that you can see when I use Autodesk Inventor. We can see at there storage space, cover storage, hands, solar cell, and lastly screw and joints that very small.
Now I will talk about my concept generation 4. So this is my product. This is product 3. The body I use for my project is PVC and sheet metal. Power source that I use is from power bank, and power bank supply the energy. The frame that I use is cuboid shape from glass. Bill of material. As we can see, number 1, body dalam. Body dalam is to make food and water being cool a whole day. Number 2 is pintu that can open and close so that we can put or take it the food and drink to make them cool. Number 3 is kotak kipas. Kotak kipas is we used to cover the fan from dust. Number 4 is fan. Fan is to make the mini cooling box is more cool and can cool long enough. Block diagram. The power supply to push button, resistor, heat and fuse. Estimate cost. Material Peltier. The price per unit is 20 ringgit. Quantity 1 and the total price is 20. Heat sink 150 and quantity that I use is 1 and the total price is 150. Thermal isolator. Price per unit is 50 ringgit. The quantity that I use is 1 and the total price is 50 ringgit. Screw and joint 1 ringgit. Quantity that I use is 25. So the total price is 25 ringgit. And the last one is battery. Battery price per unit is 280. Quantity that I use is 1 and the total price is 280. So the total is 490 ringgit that I use to make this mini cooling box. Next is suggestion fabrication. 1 is hot glue gun, 2 is cutting, 3 is welding, 4 is toolbox, and last is woodworking jigsaw. Last slide is part drawing and specification. So this is my mini cooling box part in Inventor. So that's all from me. Thank you.